Hey everyone, we're live again. Today's live stream we will be trying to make some kind of cyberpunk inspired game. Like I mentioned on the previous stream when we were making like a more sci-fi game, what I'm going to do now with streams is basically just rotate between different projects because I'm not going to make a full game and then release it. I'm going to try and release everything in a sort of early access mode. So I'm going to create like the first chapter or the first section of each of the games and then just release them and then just gradually keep releasing them. So it's good for me so I don't focus on too much on like the one project for years and years and years, like the survival horror game. It's too much. So I'm just going to try and have fun with this again. I think I'm only really going to have like 3 projects on the go. Um, but the plan is that once I start getting a better schedule, I'm going to try and stream almost every day through the week, Monday to Friday probably, for an hour and a half to 2 hours. So I've got the survival horror project, we've got the sci-fi project, and we've also got this sort of cyberpunk kind of project. And this the cyberpunk project and the sci-fi one, they're both going to be kind of like an RPG game. They'll have stats, they'll have um, choices that you can make with your character and decisions to make throughout the story. So I'm going to try and make them as RPG like as I possibly can. So yeah, today we're going to start on this. This is my rough name for it so far. I don't know if I'm going to keep this name. Rogue Millennium, it sounds quite cool. I don't know if this exists, I didn't even Google it, I just went with what I thought sounded cool. And the first section, the first mission, let's say, you're going to be investigating this sort of rundown cyberpunk style apartment building. So I just tried to flesh it out beforehand on stream. Didn't really do much, just sort of got like a staircase and where the apartments are going to go and stuff like that. So hopefully it doesn't take me too long to flesh it out because I want to get into the texture and stuff. Hello, Bovaretta! It's lovely to see you again. I am going to bring the chat up. Hello, Hal Schmoomin. That staircase already looks really something. Hold on, I'll bring the chat up so I can actually see what that says. It could be a positive thing, it could be a negative thing. It looks really something. Let's see. But yeah, it was a pain when I was doing the staircase because when you do the bottom part of the staircase, it's fine. But then when you do the top part, it's like you have to sort of like cut it up a wee bit because you don't want people bumping their head off the top, the next set, you know. And you can see here the stairs. I'm going to have to put like a. So I finished this part here. I just need to duplicate it for this part. This is the old staircase because you can see it's not been cut yet. So I just started cutting it there, and then I need to put a bit underneath just to sort of get rid of, so you can't see the staircase, you know. And then once I've got this bit ready, I'll just duplicate it all the way up to the top, really. Right. But I hope everyone's doing well today. Just going to put the thumbnail on, then I'll get the chat up. I always say this, it's times like this I wish I had like a proper PC rig, because then I could set this stream up and everything would be ready to go. But on PlayStation it's like you have to do everything manually. It's a pain, it takes up too much time. Plus I can't really do a start screen unless I build one inside Dreams. Okay. Right, all good here. Dreams. Right, I'll just save those details. I'll get the chat up now. So I was thinking, like, between the sci-fi game and this cyberpunk game, they're both quite similar. They're like kind of RPG games, but they're more like, I don't know if I should say linear, because it's like you follow the story path, but you can also go back and check out places that you might have missed because you might have access to them, and some side missions and things. Let's see here. Huh. I just went into settings on YouTube here, and it's like you can actually put a trailer on your live stream before you go live. See, I'm missing out on all these features. That would be good, because I could be like, today we're going to be building this, da-da-da. I'll be live at this time, and we'll be good to go. Okay, just loading the chat now. Kind of miss doing these blockouts, because we used to do this like every week on subject, and then when it started to get into the more detailed phase, it was the workload just kind of went really high. So you said the staircase already looks really cool. Oh, thank God, it was a positive thing. Yeah, so like I started the staircase here, right? I'm still trying to figure out where everything goes. So I'm probably going to move this staircase over a little bit. I'm just trying to work out how wide the actual building is, because I need to flesh out the inside of the apartment first, because I don't want to make it and then try and cram everything into the one little space. So I'll design an apartment in here. It's not going to be like a massive apartment, but I want it to be big enough that there's two sides, because you can go down this side and there's going to be I'll probably show you on this side because I've got a railing up already. So when you come up the stairs, you can go this way, and there's going to be apartments here, apartments over this side, and it'll be the same on this side as well. So it's going to be like, I don't want to make the building too high, but there's going to be a lot of apartments stretching out. So it's going to be more of a wider building than a taller one. Are you ever going to return back to Twitch streaming? Hate how YouTube closes whenever you exit the app, so you can't continue viewing the stream. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's annoying. Like, when I try and listen to music on YouTube, if you go off the app, it just stops. It's a pain. I think you need to download like a separate app for that, like YouTube Music or something, which I don't really want to do. But yeah, it's a pain, because Twitch is quite good where you can still use the audio channel. I don't know, I feel like everybody just watches Dreams for me on YouTube, so if I go to Twitch, I don't know how that would be. But I was thinking, like, if I ever did stream other games other than Dreams, then I probably would use Twitch. Because I was thinking, like, oh, the odd day here and there, if I do end up streaming like multiple times through the week, I could just do like a few play streams as well. But then I thought, I don't know, maybe it'll get confusing for people here because they're used to Dreams and game dev stuff. So I might do that kind of stuff on Twitch just for fun, but I don't know yet. Barely use Twitch as it is. It's coming along nicely. I'm already visualising it looking proper gritty and dirty. Yeah, I can't wait to do that part. So the idea is, like, you'll have the staircase. This area will probably be a bit bigger because I'm going to move the staircase in a bit. But this is going to be like, imagine the entrance, right? So your entrance is like here. Staircase will be a wee bit further back. And you can imagine here there's just like lots of like, it's kind of like a waiting area, you know, like a lobby kind of thing. It's just going to be filled with like trash and junk. And then you have the elevators here. I'll fix this so that this will be like a wall. And then for the elevators and stuff, the walls as well, I'm going to put like lots of graffiti. but they're out of order, so I don't know if I'll put like some tape, like the police came and taped it off because there was some kind of crime, and then I might have another elevator on a different floor, and it's maybe slightly open, and you can look inside and you can just see someone's been using it to throw like trash. It's like a storage compartment, you know, people don't really care, so you can't use the elevator. I'll probably make a functional elevator, a lift, later in the game, but the reason why I wanted to do stairs was because I wanted you to feel like you're searching more for the objective, you know, so it's like, I need to find this guy's apartment, so I need to go to like all the different doors and knock on like different doors, and maybe some people give me some clues as to where this person lives, and there might be some corridors I can't get by because they're blocked, so I'll try and make it so you can go some places, you can't go other places, and just to make the world feel bigger, because like I said, like it's technically a linear game, but I want it to be a little more open-ended, so you know, you don't just walk up to the floor you need to get to, you need to actually explore every floor, get some clues, or maybe there's different visuals that you find that adds a little bit to the atmosphere of the game. So I'm thinking like maybe 5 floors, so just say got the ground floor, this is the first floor, and it's like you just kind of keep going up. And like I was saying to you, Small Human Man, I wasn't sure if I was going to do these staircases, like left to right, because it's faster if you want to just go all the way up. Or the other staircase I had was, imagine the stairs come up this way, and then when you're on the top, you have to walk like all the way around, and then, you know, go back up again, and then round and back up. Hello Stu, welcome to the stream. We're doing some cyberpunk apartment buildings today. Hope you're doing well. You need premium, I think, to watch videos in the background. Oh, seriously? All I know is you need premium if you want to download videos as well, because I thought that was a really cool feature, download videos and then I can watch them offline. But no, like you said, you need premium. Like the Roblox stream. We'll see, because I don't actually know much about Roblox. I thought you could actually create on the console version, but if you can't, then I'm probably not going to bother. Like, I might do like a one-off stream, just sort of like trying out Roblox, trying to play. But if it doesn't let me create, then I don't see me streaming it much, to be honest, because that was the whole point, really. Because it would be nice to see what it's like. Like, I don't think it would replace streams, but I just wanted to dabble a little bit and see what it's like. You love the hands, yes. This is actually Intra Attack Out's puppet. It's kind of like a blank puppet, so it doesn't have a gun. It doesn't have his parkour system. It's just a puppet that is ready for you to use. Because apparently the molecule puppet has like some glitches and stuff. So, and also this puppet's really good for first person because he put the arms on the head, so it's actually the head that's moving here. So it means if you put a gun on it or whatever you want, it's easier to navigate and stuff. Hauschmumen. I downloaded this app called NewPipe, which is literally a copy of YouTube, just everything's free. So I don't really struggle with downloads anymore. Oh, okay, so it just kind of rips it from YouTube. I guess that's quite good then. Don't get Roblox or Minecraft, looks awful. I have Minecraft. I got like the PS4 version when it first came out, and it was like discounted when it came out, so I thought, why not? I never got the PS3 version. I never got the Vita version or the PC version. So I'll just get it. In terms of like a creation kind of game, Minecraft is like, it's okay, but it's like, if I'm just building things, then it's fine. But I want to make games and stuff, so there's no real logic to, you know, make a game with Minecraft. But I was thinking of making like some stupid like animations. I know some people make those, and I'm not on PC, so I don't have a lot of options, but I could just go into like third person mode and just create like different costumes and just pretend there's like a character going through a world or something. But playing Minecraft, like the survival thing, it's not really my thing, because I just feel lost. I don't know what I'm doing. I need some kind of structure, like missions or some guidance. Because when you just drop me in Minecraft, I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I don't know what to do. Don't diss Minecraft. Sorry sir, I just don't get it. Yeah, it's hard for me to get into it as well. Which makes me wonder if I could watch this stream on NewPipe actually. You could give it a try, I suppose. I don't know how it would work. The damn heart in the comments is so annoying. Oh, is that heart there for you guys as well? I thought it was just me. Yeah, it's like the comment on the bottom is always covered, so your comment says the damn heart and then the corner is covered with a heart. It is, right? What is that about? Yeah. I'm getting spammed with emojis, I'm loving it. It's a shame the emojis don't come up on the PlayStation screen. With Minecraft you can also get mods to make it more interesting, like there's such a huge market, like the heart's blocking your comment. Like some changes the entire game up completely. Yeah, like if I was going to do stuff like that, yeah, the PC would be good for mods. Like I'd love to play like the Resident Evil games with like tons of mods. I think it would be so cool. I've never had a proper PC rig though. I had a Windows XP for many years, and then I got a laptop which was just for like university work, and then I got a better one, but I've had this one for like 8 years, so it can play like Xbox 360 style games on like medium settings, and it's okay for like rendering videos and doing a bit of modeling and rendering and all that kind of stuff, but most of the modern games I can't play. Just stick to the PlayStation. So I'll see what I've got here. That's all I did. I just made like a brief sort of start on it, but I still need to figure out how wide these buildings are going to be. Same with the elevator. I need to see how deep it's going to go. So I kind of made it like this. So I'll do that first. Then I'll make like the interior of the elevator, right, just to see how far back it goes, because I can't start the apartment until I know how deep that elevator is going to go, and then the apartment will sort of like, I made like a window and a door here, so the apartments, I don't know how small, how big, how long they're going to be. So I'll start with the elevator, the lift, and we'll see how big it's going to be. So I'll just sort of map it out just now, I think. Make it all shiny. So you've got your doors there, so make them like that. So I'll test and see, like, if I was going to do it the way that it is just now, it will be like this. I'll just open those doors for now. There we go. And because this is like a rundown place, like, I want to make everything futuristic and cyberpunk-y, but at the same time, if it's a rundown place, it might not be as, you know, cool looking. But I'll try and come up with like some funky designs for the interior. We'll just do it like that for now, right? Try to figure out how many people would walk inside an elevator. Because look, you've got one person, 2, 3, 4. You know, if they're thin people, they can probably get like 5 or 6 people squashed in here. Otherwise, I don't know. Plus, I'll put like little railings on the side to make it look more futuristic. And I'll put the panels up here. But if I need to make it a bit bigger, I can. Like I said, you're not going to use this lift anyway, but it's just... I might make one slightly open just so you can see inside, so I might just design it anyway. Just check, NewPipe does not handle live vids. Ha! It must be because it's going direct to YouTube, so it probably won't appear until it becomes a video. Are you going to add like homeless people in the corridors? Maybe. I don't know how many people I'm going to sculpt because I'm terrified of sculpting people. As long as it doesn't take up too much thermo as well. But yeah, it would be good to have more people, NPCs, sort of lying around as well. Be quite fun. Homeless robots. That would be weird. A homeless robot. Since when were robots entitled to homes? That's what I want to know. Right, so the door would obviously come in a bit more though. Yeah, I'm going to have to make these a wee bit wider, I think, because if you came in here like that, it feels a bit claustrophobic. I don't know, maybe claustrophobic's good. I'll bring it out like that, and then I'll put like the keypad here. By the way, the new Cyberpunk update is out today as well. 2.0. I think the DLC comes out in like 5 days, but the main game got fully overhauled. You can do some crazy stuff now in it. I think you can use like a katana to like deflect bullets and stuff. Looks quite cool. And they finally added combat when you're inside a vehicle, which is pretty nice. Should go back and do the Bovaretta playthrough again. I think that would be funny. Just make her a mad ninja. I'll make it like that for now, right? See, but I don't know if I should make it like... Try to think of like cyberpunk designs, so if I'm making a keypad for a lift, you know, do I go like really crazy and make all the buttons like funky shapes, and do I put like a screen here, like a touch screen instead of buttons, or, you know, I feel like I need to make something a bit more mental. But I think I need to make it a bit higher anyway. Let me see where the character would stand if he was here. So the top of it's kind of like head height, which is good, I guess. So I don't know if I should do like a touchpad or do buttons. I guess a touchpad would be a bit cooler, and then I can just use like the stickers to make like a panel, and then depending on which one you're looking at, it will highlight, I guess, and then you can press the button. I'm just thinking ahead because obviously I'm going to make lifts in the future. These ones won't work though. They're like, error, error, get the hell out of my lift. I could get a robot just sitting there and you go in, it's like saying out of order, and the robot's like, can't you read, man? Let me see what I can do. Can I mess around with the cutout tool? Let me see. I hate that it's invisible. Can I change that? No. It's like the bit I'm cutting out, I can't actually see the bit I'm cutting out because it's kind of invisible. Oh, god damn it. You can kind of see it, but it's very faint. It's not so good. Yeah, I don't know. Don't normally use this cutout tool. I normally just use I just build it separately, you know. Let me see. Like I would normally just build this part and then build a bit around it. But I'm starting to use the cutout tool to save me a bit of time, I guess. So this will be like the panel. And then we'll do like there'll be like a screen here or something. This will be like a huge touch panel. Just for fun. Let's put some text on it already. Where are we? Text displayer. Let me see. I need to change the layers as well, right? Let me see something. Let me see if I make that glow. Can I make that glow? I don't know how bright that is. I don't know if it's affecting it because I've got the studio lighting. Oh yeah. The studio lighting was like, nope, you're not going to make it glow that much. Sorry if I blinded some of you there. So I'll put the... So I was going to put like a text box, but since if I'm going to make the whole thing a touchscreen, I may as well just do it this way, right? Let me see, what colour could I make it? Like a yellow kind of colour? Take off the alumina, because look, I mean you could do that if you wanted to make like a frazzled kind of screen. But I'll just sort of turn that off just now, make it really smooth. Make it proper bright. I guess I'll make the text like orange or something. Let me see. I don't think I need to do it like that, right? So out of order, out of service. You just got flashbanged. See, that would be really cool. See if you actually made a flashbang in a game and then just do something like that. Like, the whole screen just blinds you. Let's see. I don't know what colour would be better. What would clash? Let me see here. Yeah. It's kind of funky. I hate when it does that. I tried to take it off, but it doesn't let me, so I think I'm going to have to actually do it myself, maybe. Okay. Just an example. Let me see here. New cyber spy idea unlocked. Yeah, that would be good. The cyber flash. What would be a good font, do you think, for this? Let me have a look. It's annoying when you change font and then it like totally messes up the box. This looks quite good for cyberpunky kind of thing, doesn't it? Like a very strange kind of font. So you can go for some nice fonts, or you can just like that could kind of work. There's too many fancy fonts, like squiggly kind of fonts. There's not that many kind of sci-fi looking things. Let me go to the end, because they added some new fonts as well. That looks like the one I just did. Doesn't that look like number 4? Also, that's weird. You get that as well. You go 1, 2, 3, 24, 4. What the hell? That looks so glitchy. But anyway, I think the 4 one looks the exact same as the last one. It's 83. It's like they've put the font in twice for some reason. But 4 is quicker, so let's do that. You should have the background be black and yellow stripes rather than a solid colour. So the background be black and yellow stripes. How would you do yellow stripes? Are you talking about the font colour, or I don't know if you can change anything here. Yeah, it's just to kind of make it more sort of neon, you know. But it's been a pain because look, it doesn't want to go the way I want it to. Because as soon as you put it on the scene mode or whatever it is, even as soon as you put it into the scene, it for some reason it doesn't let you do what you want. I think some fonts are duplicates because one set doesn't have numbers. That's so weird. Very strange indeed. We'll just do that for now, right? because I'm not actually focusing on this. This was just a little thing, just to see. And then obviously I need to get the other side to be the same. But I think I'm going to have to make everything a bit wider anyway. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just make it by like 10 points. Okay. And then I'll bring these over. The fonts could have better range. Yeah, for me they're all kind of squiggly. Okay. This is just a rough thing anyway just now. I guess it doesn't really matter how wide this is or whatever. I doubt people are going to analyse it. You know, that's the thing when you're creating these kind of things and you're trying to get like the proportions right. It's like most people just go like, oh, there's an elevator. I go into the elevator, I press the button, and I'll leave. Whereas we're like, oh, but the dimensions need to be perfect, you know. So I made it a wee bit wider. I don't know if I should go a bit deeper as well. Let me just put like the fancy railings on the side, right? Probably make a new object for that because it's going to be sort of its own thing. The good ones I make the actual walls and stuff so I can get rid of the thermal, because a lot of this stuff is like eaten up a lot because of the size of the walls and stuff. So let me see if I put like a wee railing thing here. Don't know how high it's going to be, but that be good, like that. Again, I'm going to have to like mess with like the sides and things. Just to give it a little bit more depth, you know, because when you walk in a lift sometimes, you know, they're just like plain, they're just walls, and then other times they've got like these fancy sort of railings around it. If I wanted to go like full cyberpunk, I could even put like some advertisement inside the lift as well, like maybe here there's some kind of promotional material or something. But I'm trying not to think about that because that'll just give me too much work to do. I'm just going to get the basics down first. Make sure everything looks kind of good. Okay. But after this I'm going to have to map out the apartment so I can actually see how wide everything goes. And I don't know if I should do maybe one on the bottom as well. So for now I'll just duplicate it just to make it my life a bit easier. Okay. guess it looks okay. Obviously, if I want to put more detail into this, I can. I can see. Normally, I don't use the cutout tool. Normally, I just use this and just sort of figure out what the hell I want to do with it. You know, like I could cut like a wee hole out of it, not all the way through, but just to make a bit of a bevel or something to go around. But I'm not going to focus on those kind of details right now. So we've got like a really rough kind of elevator. I guess the size is okay. It's kind of what I planned, like when I was looking at the space. I was like imagining how much space the lift would take up. So I guess I'll just stick with this for now. And then it means I can just assume that the lift goes to here. The apartments can kind of start here. Like, it doesn't need to be like super realistic. You know, the wall would maybe be a bit thicker or a bit more space, you know, for the contraptions for the elevator, but I'm just going to assume that everything's fine, right? We're not going to... It's not like an architect is going to play this game. I hope not, anyway. So we'll assume this is where the apartments are. So I'm going to have to see how it's all going to fit. So I need like a very tiny little bathroom. I'm talking tiny. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it like more of an open floor kind of thing. So they'll have like their living room, their kitchen and stuff all in like the one sort of space. Because that's what Cyberpunk stuff does, doesn't it? It's very open. And then I'll just have separate areas for like the bathroom and the bedroom. And maybe some storage. I don't know. I don't want to make it too huge. I want this to be like a rundown kind of apartment place. You know, you're not really going to get a lot of space. It's going to be very minimal. So we shall see how this turns out. So I'll just... It's going to need its own little floor, so I'm just going to make another floor here, just for now. Again, I don't know what the floor is going to look like. I don't know if I'll make like a carpet, or would people still use carpets in a cyberpunk world, or would they use more lavish concretes? Right, and again, I don't know how wide the apartment's going to be, so just for talking sake, we're just going to make a very stupid kind of floor for now, so it can be textured independently. Okay. I'll probably just reduce the detail because it's bugging me. Okay. Just reduce the detail for everything. We don't need all this, right? Right. So let's see. In the apartment. Let's think. What I'll do is I'll bring the wee puppet guy up so we can just walk around the apartment and test it out as we go. Right, so we'll keep him at the door, roughly. Okay, so if you're walking in this apartment, let's try and visualise this. So you've just came through the door. Get your wee window there. There's not going to be a window here because it's the other apartment. So this is like your only light source. So I'm just trying to think, if I come in, if I make that little space, like imagine that's like a tiny bathroom, so it's like when you come in there's a wall and a little door you can go through here, and it's literally just like a walk-in closet with a toilet right here at the door. Maybe on this side we can have the lounge area, so we'll have like his fancy couch. You know, in Cyberpunk games or material, it's always like, it's never like a normal couch, it's always like an L shape or something, or a U shape. So we'll make some funky ass couch here, maybe like from here to here, kind of coming along that way. So it's like it, and maybe I don't know if I'll do a table or just like a little something, just to put some things around, and maybe like a TV here, a unit here. I'll try and make it as big as I can so the player can walk in and just sort of see what's lying around. So I've got the bathroom there, the TV sort of area here, and then as we go down here, there's going to be like a kitchen kind of area here, and just try to think. I still don't want to make the apartment too big, so maybe I'll make it like, rather than have the bedroom here, I'll have the bedroom like here, so the kitchen will end like here, and you'll walk into a bedroom and it's literally just enough space to have like a bed, a few things, and maybe like if you go forward there's like a wee storage area at the back here. So I think this area, the way that it is right now, it's maybe a bit too small. I'm probably going to have to make it a bit wider, and definitely a bit longer, because my idea is there's going to be an apartment here, and there's going to be a duplicate apartment on the other side. So the way it is, if I was doing like half and half, you'd only get a tiny hole in the wall. So I'll basically double this in size, I think. Which means I'm going to have to change. That's why I was waiting to design the apartment, so I would know like where the lifts would go, where the staircase would go. If there would be like 2 sets of staircases, because it's a big, quite a wide complex. So let me see here. If I put the basics down right, so that's the window, right? But I'm just going to pretend that's a TV, right? Put the TV on there. Let me see. This sofa, right? Let's see. If I make it like the mad sort of L shape kind of thing. We'll just get a rough idea of where everything's going to be. We'll sort out all the sizes later. So if we just imagine something like that. Just to get a rough idea. So that could kind of be like his lounge area there. So let me see. Right, so you just walk through the door, this is what you see. So there's kind of enough space to walk through here without getting obstructed. Imagine you're sitting here and you're watching the TV, but this is more for people just to sit and have a drink, you know. The TV itself is not really the main attraction. I mean, I don't know how many people sit. I don't know, do you guys like, do you mind watching a TV at an angle? I hate it. I need to always sit almost central like this, you know. Like, I can't stand it if I'm watching a TV at an angle. It absolutely destroys me. So I might make the chair come out like a little bit more. Let me see. So I don't want there to be like a huge space here, you know. But let's just say that I was to bring it out like just a little bit more, not much, but just a little bit. I think that would be okay, and then I'll put like a little wall unit maybe. Maybe I'll bring the TV up a wee bit. Just bring it up quite high. Make a little wall unit, just a little thing. As for a table, I think if they have a table here, it's going to have to be very, very small. Like, I'll just put it there for now, right? Because I want to make this place like kind of wrecked as well, so it's not going to be like a fancy apartment, like all neat and tidy. It's just going to be like cans and bottles, and you know, even the tables kind of thrown over on the side, and it's not that important. So if I make like another wall here, let's imagine where this bathroom is going to go. Let's see. So this will be the door for the bathroom. Is that enough space? So you walk through the door, and the bathroom's there. The door for the bathroom, and there's just a little bit of space here, maybe a little table here or something, just a little unit here. And then I'll put the wall in, and maybe the bathroom's literally just like the toilet's lit right there. Very narrow, but I can make this just a little bit wider. Doesn't have to be this narrow. Let me pull it out a little bit. Maybe give it there. And then I'll put down a wall there just to see how that would look. Just for talking sake, that's the wall. And then I'll need a shorter wall here. Let's put that here. I'll mess with the sizes again. Again, I don't really know how big the doors are going to be, but they're going to be like proper sci-fi doors, so they're going to be like, they don't have to have space at the back to swing the door open. I'll make it just, they kind of just go like shoot, so it means you can get a bit more space to put objects around, you know. So if I put like the toilet in one corner, it means I don't really have to put like a sink here, because the door's not going to open like that, it's just going to slide in and out. So I could probably put like the sink on the other side, like here, and then this wall can just be like bare, or it can have like some tiny storage stuff hanging around. This has inspired me to fix a bug in my game where the score doesn't always update. I'm worried it's thermal related. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe if the gameplay thermal's a bit too high, I don't know if that could affect it. But yep, I would check that out just to be sure. I'm going to just put like just imagine that's where the toilet is, right? And the sink will be like there, right? Let's just say. Don't think this needs to be as wide as that. Let me see. You know, I'll make it so like it kind of lines up, you know. So say the couch comes to here, so let's say it's lined up with the wall, roughly. Doesn't need to be exact, but I think it might look a bit better if I do it like that. We'll put this wall in here. And then the kitchen will basically start from here. So you'll have like your units. Just for example. In fact, let me just, I'll make another unit here. And I need to see how high they're going to go. Because that's quite low, isn't it? Bring it up a wee bit. Okay. So we've got the little lounge area here, we've got the door that leads into the bathroom. So as soon as that door opens, it's like, oh my, this is very claustrophobic. You'll have a funky toilet here. And you'll have your sink here. I'll need to obviously adjust the shelf size. You get the idea. And then you'll have your kitchen area. It's going to be a little bit longer than this, I think. But let me try and see the bedroom, because if you've got a bed is quite wide, so it's probably going to take up a bit of space. I don't know what's going to go in this part of the floor. Like I could probably put like another table or something, like just to sit around that, you know. Maybe. So the bedroom. Let's put another gigantic wall here. And we'll try and figure out how far this wall should be. So if you're coming in from the entrance, how far away is the wall to the bedroom? So far there's enough space. This is one thing I read about, like when you make a game and you want to make it realistic, you still have to make the space a little bigger than real life, because the player will get stuck in between furniture and stuff, so you need to make bigger spaces so they can actually walk around. But then there was a game called Alien Isolation, and they said they wanted to make their game quite claustrophobic, so they actually made like a really realistic environment, so everything's as narrow as you would expect. So it just depends what kind of vibe you're going for. I don't want to get stuck in the environment, so I want to litter the place with like lots of things. So if I make it too cramped, I don't know. I don't think it would be so good for this game. I like to have just a little bit more space. But something with Subject, when I was making the survival horror game, it's like I found like my old environments were way too big, like far too big. and I started to cut them down and make them much more narrow. I think it works really well for a horror game because you feel more trapped. Right, I think if I want to make the kitchen a bit, just a little bit bigger, so I'll make the wall extend a little more. Again, I don't know if the kitchen's going to be that big. I'll just get like the unit on the other side. I guess that could be okay. Can I have a mad fridge here or something? I don't know, let's try that and see. I'll make like a fake fridge, right? Put it somewhere around here. And then... see, I don't even know if I'll put a table here. This was just a little idea for now, but I think I might move it. But I'll put the bedroom door sort of in the corner, and then on this side I'll sort of flesh out the bedroom. So it definitely, the whole thing needs to become a bit wider, so I'll need to redo the outside part soon. Hey Swigfolk, nice to see you again. How's Cyberpunk? I see you were playing it, the new update. Is it good? 2.0. Alien Isolation, what a game. Wasn't aware of that fact though. It definitely conveys claustrophobia. Yeah, I just remember reading about it once. Like they did an interview or something, and they were talking about the environment, and they were just saying like normally in games they're a lot bigger, spaced out. And I thought, huh, I guess that's true. I think that's why when you play games like PT, and the house actually feels like a real house, like the way the furniture is, the how narrow the corridors are, everything feels, you know, like the bathroom and stuff, everything feels like it's built like you would see it in real life. And I think that's what makes it a bit more creepy. The fact that you are getting a bit more claustrophobic. Right, so let's think about this this bedroom. So just for just now, I'm going to move the wall over just so I can actually walk in with the character, and then we'll try and figure out the dimensions of the bedroom. But yeah, the apartment's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. But I guess that's good. Bit more scale, bit more to explore. Right, so let me move this wall over here. There, just for just now. We'll see how that lines up. One thing I do need to do is save it because I don't want any accidents. Okay. I'm just going to get a quick drink. I'll be back in just a second. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I never actually got through much of Alien Isolation, certainly not as much as it deserved. Yeah, for me it got quite hyped up, and I didn't finish it either. For me it was like, it felt like it was going to be a good game, but like, I like survival horror games, I don't like stealth. Like, I like Metal Gear Solid, but that's like the exception. Because I don't really feel that's too stealthy. It's like, it's just kind of fun. But stealth games, it's like hiding in lockers, and I don't know, I just don't have the patience for that kind of thing. You know, like running away from things all the time. I like to fight things, and I felt like you get some weapons in Alien Isolation. You have to fight like androids and stuff, but they're still quite powerful. And obviously the alien, like you don't want to fight that because that will just destroy you. So in theory, I thought the game was good, but it was the stealth part that just annoyed me, like having to crouch everywhere and sneak around, and I just found it really boring. Like, not that the game's boring, just for me, stealth kind of things just ain't my kind of thing. So it just kind of ruined it for me, you know. It's like Outlast, like running around, hiding. It's like, I'm kind of done with that, and that's why I prefer like Resi 7 or Village, because you get a gun and it's more slower paced. Take your time, you can explore. Don't need to hide, you know. You actually need to fight against your enemies. Yeah, just been messing around doing the police side quests. Not seen every new thing yet with the update, but it does feel slightly better to play. Yeah, I mean, I liked Cyberpunk when it first came out. It had problems, but I played on the PS5, so I think if you played the PS4 version on the PS5, it was obviously slightly better performance and some better texturing and lighting and stuff, but the frame rate was obviously the biggest boost. And I played like 17 hours, and then like for the last couple of hours of it, it just kept crashing for some reason. I don't know if it's because if you pick up so many items, eventually it builds up your data and then it just kills you. I don't know, but I stopped playing after that, and then the PS5 version came out, and I was like, great, I've tried it, and it did seem better. I didn't really compare, but it did seem better. But I was just trying it out. I think we played it on stream. That was the time I played it. And I just waited again. And now that the 2.0 is out, apparently it's the last major update for the game before they move on to doing other things. So I think now is the perfect time to get back to it. And I probably will buy the Phantom Liberty DLC at some point. I don't normally buy these expansions, but hopefully this one's quite expansive. I don't mind paying for it. Maybe when it goes on sale. So I'm looking forward to going back to Cyberpunk. Did like it. Like, if you compare it, I know a lot of people compare it to Starfield, and honestly, I've completed the main campaign in Starfield, and I've done a good amount of side missions, so I've maybe put in like 35 to 40 hours into Starfield, and I've put 17 into Cyberpunk when it was broken, and I still prefer Cyberpunk. I just feel like the world is better, it's more interesting, the characters are more interesting. In Starfield, everyone just talks the same, you know, it's just like, oh. Whereas in Cyberpunk, I feel like there's more personality, it's more gritty. And I do like these kind of games where you do have... There is a good story mode to follow, but you can also go off and search and do other things. So I can't wait to get back into it. I just don't know if I'm going to play it right now, because like, it is a long game. And there's a few other things I want to finish before I jump into it, because I just want to focus on it. Whenever I do get to play it, that's all I'm going to play. It's a long game, to be honest, but in terms of authenticity, it's definitely the most Alien game I've played. Yeah, I think if we're talking Alien games, that Isolation is probably one of the best ones. But then again, I've not really played that many. I had on the PS1, I had Alien Trilogy. It was basically like Doom. So if it's like Doom, it's always a good kind of game. Hey Multi-Moo, welcome to the stream. We're trying to block out a little apartment here. Inside an apartment complex, still in the very early stages. We've got our little elevator down here, ready to go. Some chopped up staircases. So just try to figure out the proportions for this little apartment so I can space out the building. My first Aliens game was on the Commodore, was brutal. By brutal do you mean it was that bad or it was just very difficult? Alien Trilogy scared me as a kid, especially when the facehuggers latched themselves onto your screen. Yeah, that was good. It's like if you step on them, they just sort of slowly crawl up and it's like It's quite hard. I actually went back and played it recently, and it's like an old Doom game, right? So you can't really aim. You can't aim up and down, just left and right. So when you try and shoot a facehugger on the floor, it's difficult because you're aiming like in the sort of general direction of it, but it's kind of crawling all over the place, and then when it gets too close to the camera, you can't look down and see what it is. You have to kind of run away and turn around and see where it went to. So it's very difficult to shoot them. So let me see here. I'll do like a. Let's see. There's another little closet area, but if the kitchen only goes to here, right? So. Just pull out this wall for now, just to see how far this goes. I think there's another Aliens game after Alien Trilogy. I can't remember what it was called, but apparently that was good as well. But again, it was like a Doom kind of game. It was brutal because it was difficult and quite unlike any other game. Yeah, Alien Trilogy was really difficult as well if you weren't careful with your resources, because you can run out of ammo really quickly and health and everything. It's one of those games you probably need to play a good few times just to understand where the objectives are, and because you can it tells you how many aliens you killed, right? So you could try and get 100%, kill everything, find all the items, but then it was like if you did that, it's like you waste a lot of ammo and stuff. There was a great Commander and Conquer style Aliens vs Predator game too. Yeah, I can't remember what Aliens vs Predator game it was, but there was one that was meant to be quite good. I think they remade it as well on the PS3, but I think it was more of a multiplayer game. I'll put his wee storage closet there, right? We'll just this isn't really the shelf, it's part of the kitchen, but let's just pretend it's the same thing. Yeah, we'll just sort of make like a stupid little shelf thing here. So when you enter here, it's literally just like it's not like a walk-in closet, you literally just get what you need and you leave. So we'll kind of make the sizes just like that. And his bed, let me see how that would look. So if you walked in through the door, his bed would need to be like a single bed, I think. No luxury in this apartment. So I'll probably just put it there, I think. So you walk in, the first thing you see is the bed. like from here to here, and then there's a little space here for you to go in this closet here. So I'll just fire down something that resembles a bed for now. Just put that there for now. Bring another wall over here as well. When I make the actual walls, I'll sort out all the sizes and everything. The other game you're thinking of is Alien Resurrection. Yeah, that's the one. Never played that one. Apparently, like, whenever I watch, like, PS1 games that you should play, and whenever they talk about an Aliens game, it's always Alien Resurrection. They barely ever say Alien Trilogy, and I really like Trilogy, so Resurrection must be much better. Pretty sure Trilogy uses sprites, whereas it seems Resurrection uses 3D aliens. Oh, does it? Yeah, from screenshots, it just looked the same to me, you know, like the weapons and stuff, like it was very Doom-like. But I've never played it. I would definitely like to try it though. But yeah, that game was good, just difficult. Yeah, I've been trying to get back into like retro gaming recently, trying to play a few PS1 games I never played. Some of them I think have aged really badly. Some of them I think are absolute trash. Like, I'm not really into platformers, but I tried a game called, do you remember Tomba? I think it was called, or Tomba. And oh my god, that is a weird platformer. Like, you don't just platform, you need to like talk to people, you need to like solve puzzles, and you need to interact with the environment. Like, it's kind of like Little Big Planet, you can go like in different layers, and it's like you grab trees and they bend and they catapult you in the air, and you can do like body slams, and the character just feels really weird to control. And I was like, everyone was hyping this game up, but for me it's like I can't get into it. I don't think I would have got into it anyway, even back then. But it's mostly RPG games I want to go back and play. Like, I was going to go back and play that Star Ocean 2. Like, I had the PSP game, the remake, because it's on PS1. There's a sort of remake on PSP. But now I've noticed they're bringing out like a proper remake of the second one, and it's like 3D environments, but the characters are all sprites, and it does look really good. But it is quite expensive. It's like £45. So I don't know. Kind of, it reminds me if you've played something like Octopath Traveler. They try to do the same thing, 3D worlds, but sprite characters. But there's tons of RPG games I want to play in the PS1 that I missed, like Xenogears, The Legend of Dragoon, like I said, Star Ocean 2. There's others I had that I never finished, like Vagrant Story. There's so many I want to go back and play. Right, so I think this is kind of... I'm just gonna put a wall here just to make it look like it, but I'm just gonna keep it open just so I can see what's what. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep this table here. I might just put like bean bags on the floor or something, you know, something just to chill on. Like, RPG definitely are the best genre of games. Like, whatever I think of my favourite games, they just happen to be RPGs. Yeah, me too. But when I really analysed all the RPG games that I played in the past, most of them are Final Fantasy games, so I started to question, like, do I really like RPG games, or is it just Final Fantasy games? Like, how can I tell? Because I never played Persona 1 or 2. I never played the Shin Megami Tensei games. I never played, like, Star Ocean and Dragon Quest, or it used to be called Dragon Warrior. There's just so many that I've just never played. Because I started watching these RPG channels on YouTube, and it's like they're talking about all these games like Wild Arms, and I've just never played them. And then I was like, do I really like RPG games? But I don't know. I feel like Final Fantasy is like the best of the best, you know. And I feel like Breath of Fire, for example. Like, I like RPG games, so I like the battle system, but the story and the characters, do they grab me as much? Probably not. So I feel like Final Fantasy sort of raised the bar. I mean, when you start playing, like, Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 were my first Final Fantasy games. So 7, 8, and 9, they're all like top tier RPG games of all time. And they don't age that badly other than graphics, because turn-based is turn-based. It's the same as it was then, you know. And I've tried the Persona games, like I've tried a little bit of 3, quite a bit of 4, and a decent bit of 5, but I'm not like super into that either. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just like the story and the characters are more important to me. And most RPG games, like there's an RPG game called Lunar, and everyone raves about it. But I played it, and it's like the most generic RPG game you can ever think of. You know, it's just like a bunch of kids, they want to go on an adventure to stop the evil, and but it's very like childlike. You know, it's not like serious. It's just kind of whimsical. And I don't know. I just thought, like, I'm playing it for the RPG system to level up, to fight, but the story and the characters are just not so good. But I do want to keep trying other RPG games. I say out of all the RPG games I've tried that I've never played, I'd definitely recommend Xenogears, or Xenogears, whatever you want to call it. That's a really good game. So that's like Final Fantasy VII meets mech. So you get to use like these big robots and stuff in battle, but within a Final Fantasy VII kind of world. It's quite good, but that game's infamous because they never finished it, so they had to. There's a big section in the game where it's like it just gives you a big wall of text, and it just says this is what happened, and it just jumps ahead in the future. But I've heard Legend of Dragoon is meant to be good, so I'm going to try and get through that as well. You loved 8, Final Fantasy 8, yeah. It's funny, like, going back and reading people's comments, everybody hates on Final Fantasy 8 for some reason. They say, like, oh, there's no point in leveling up because all the monsters level up with you. There's a lot of broken systems, and, like, apparently you can get really overpowered. But it's still pretty good. I just remember that when you go to that town and that giant robot spider chases you through the town. I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. But 7 and 9 as well, amazing games. I think that's what ruined RPGs for me. The bar got too high, because even Final Fantasy games these days, they're just not as good. Like 12 was fun but not as good. 13 obviously not as good. 15 and 16, you can debate on that, but who knows? Is it nostalgia talking, or is it just gaming's just not the same anymore? I don't know. Okay, so I think obviously this might change as I start to actually build out the couch, because maybe the couch will be a bit wider or a bit longer, but I think this is like a good rough kind of layout here. We'll change a few things. So The apartment that I was thinking about using for the mission was not going to be the first one. I was just kind of putting it here just to test. So once I get the final layout, I'll just duplicate it and we'll see how long this building can go. So that's like one apartment, 2, 3. So does it have 3 here and 3 on the other side? Does it have 4 here and 4 on the other side? I don't know yet. I don't want to make too many apartments, because then the player might be like, this place has got too many places to go. At the same time, if you're walking here, that's one apartment, 2, 3. I'll need to figure out if I'm going to do 3 or 4, because it's going to be on this side, it's going to be 3 or 4 on this side, and then on the other side it's going to be 3 or 4, 3 or 4, and then that's just the second. Sorry, the first floor, and then you're going to have the second floor, which is the same, and it's probably going to go all the way up to like 5 floors. So you won't get to explore every floor, because I'll block some passageways, or I'll make it obvious where you need to go. But just for scale wise, so it's not just linear, you're not just walking up to a certain floor and going to a certain door. You actually have to walk around and talk to people and chap apartments and see if anyone answers. Otherwise you're going to run through this game pretty damn quickly. I quite enjoyed 9. The comedic writing for it landed quite well. See, I can't even remember the comedy. I think I was too young. Like, I don't remember it being super funny. I remember like Steiner and Vivi used to have a little thing. Like, they used to make fun of Steiner quite a lot. I remember that, and he used to go quite mad. But hopefully that gets a remake, because I've heard that they're working on a remake for 9 as well, so that'll be good to see. I always remember in 9 when you're on that, remember that tram cart, and there was like a big massive spider thing as well that came crawling down. I think like that's what I always remember, big giant spiders. So in 8 it was a big robot spider, in 9 it was a big demon spider in the tunnels. But I was such a noob when I played Final Fantasy 9, because that was technically my first Final Fantasy game. And there's a part where Kuja, he splits your party up into 2, and he's like, okay, I'm going to send one of you here, and I'm going to send one of you to this cave or something. But this cave, you can't use magic, so choose your party wisely. And I don't know if I just flicked through the dialogue or I didn't understand, but I just chose a random party, and I ended up sending most of my magic users to the cave, like Vivi and stuff, and Garland, or Garnet, or whatever she's called, and I just couldn't use magic, but somehow I still managed to beat the area and the boss. I don't know how I done it. Good times. Will you create street sections in this, or will it mostly be indoors? Yeah, I'm going to make street sections, but I'm going to try and make it like contained, so it's not open world. You're not going to be able to walk anywhere you want. So what I'm doing nowadays, because Dreams, they reduced the amount of things that you can, how many scenes you can save. I need to try and condense as much as possible into the one scene. I don't really have the luxury of doing multiple scenes anymore. So I'm going to create like one floor of the apartment, and I'm not going to duplicate each apartment for all the rooms, only the ones that you can enter, which is probably going to be like 1 or 2 tops. And I'll just duplicate everything's the same. I'll just duplicate it for floor 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'll get the whole building. I'll delete the stuff from the apartments, and then I'll copy the buildings around the place, so like when you're out on the balcony you can actually look around and see the other apartment buildings, and you can look down and there will be a street. And the idea is that at some point you will be out on the street, but it's going to be very scripted. It's going to be like, so you're going to start the game in the apartment building, and then once you leave you'll be on the street, but you just really go to your car, or maybe question a witness or something. Like, you can't really walk around all over the street and go anywhere you want. It's going to be very contained. So there will be streets, but just very handcrafted, and I'm only going to let you see what the thermal lets me make, to be honest. And so when I'm going to make like a car, and instead of like driving around the city, I'm basically going to make it a car that doesn't have a steering wheel. It's going to be automated, and you just choose a destination and the car will take you there. But it's going to be all smoke and mirrors, because the car mirror, the windows on the car, they're not going to be so clear. You can kind of see out of them, but not super clear. And I'll just make like some generic buildings and some neon signs, and I'll make like a really low thermal city, so the car can actually drive to like the places that you need to go to, but it's going to be all smoke and mirrors, so you can't actually see everything. Because to make a big city in Dreams, you have to make it really low thermal, and I think it's going to look really ugly, so I need to kind of mask that a little bit. So you'll go in your car will talk to you, you'll go to the next mission, and then you'll either start like just outside the mission point, like on the street for example, but tailored where you can't actually walk away, and then or you'll start inside a building. So it's whatever the thermal allows me to do. My idea is that a lot of the stuff will be indoors, because you're going to be infiltrating places and interrogating people. But yeah, I'll try and do as much of the streets as possible just to tie it all together. And there will be side missions, but it's going to be more like it'll just teleport you there, or you'll just take your car and it'll take you there, smoke and mirrors wise. I'd love to make a proper open world game in Dreams, but I don't think it's possible. Plus I think open world games, they suffer when you can't polish them enough. Could make a map when you can select where to go in your car, like a supermarket, to stock up on health items, etc. Yeah, I think that would be quite cool. Like if I made like a... I've been playing this game on PlayStation Plus that just came out called 13 Sentinels. It's an RPG game, and the battle screen is basically like a digitized city, and it looks very simple. It's just like miniaturized buildings, just a few different shapes, and they're just kind of plotted all around, and they have like kind of neon kind of lines for the roads. So that's very low thermal. I could probably make something like that, map it all out, and then when you're in your car, it's like you just see like the screen with the map, and you just press like, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to the mission area? Do you want to go, like you said, stock up on things? Or, oh, there's a distress call, like go do a side mission over here. I could try and definitely do that. I don't think that will be too difficult. So yeah, it'll definitely make it more interactive, and it'll make the game feel a little bigger and not so linear, because you're actually still feel like you're going around to different places, you know. So I think I've kind of got the rough block out for this. We've got the lobby, we've got the first floor, we've got the apartment. So now I just need to finalise some little adjustments, just so I can get the building the right size that I want it to be, and then I'm not going to duplicate any higher than this, because I want to. I'll actually make proper textured stairs, and then I'll duplicate them. So I'm hoping the next time we stream this game, I'll be able to get the full building plotted out, and then I'll just start texturing. And once I've got like all the stairs and the walls all textured, then I'll build all the way up, and it means I can duplicate them around, and then I can start to go into like proper detail, like adding like things the player can see, like objects, and I want to put like graffiti on the walls, and obviously in the apartment there'll be like tons of stuff I'll need to build and texture. So I guess that's the plan for the next time we stream this game. I'm trying to get into streaming again, so I really want to try and be more focused and try and do it like maybe Monday to Friday, and do some different games and stuff. So if I stream tomorrow, It just depends what I feel like making, to be honest. It could be more of this, it could be more of the sci-fi game, it could be more of the survival horror game. Just building, texturing, designing, and then I'll import the character and we'll have like some proper gameplay and stuff. And I'm still writing the story, so for example, I don't really know like the full story yet. I don't know the missions or the side missions. It's not like the survival horror game where everything's planned out. I know what I'm doing, but for these two games, it's like there's a lot of work to be done to plot them out. But I like writing, and I don't think it'll take me too long to flesh it all out. So I think I'll leave this one here for today. I'll just do another quick save, make sure I don't lose anything. So if anyone's playing Cyberpunk today or over the weekend, enjoy. Like I said, if I've got time, I'm going to try and stream again tomorrow and try and make it more consistent, and we'll just keep creating projects. We'll see where they go. Hopefully, it's obviously a bit rough when you start off a new project because it's very basic and sometimes you can't really see the vision of it yet, but once we start texturing things and getting the lighting in and the gameplay, and I think it's going to come together quite quickly. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to release everything like as an early access kind of game. So as soon as I make like the first mission, I'll just release it and I'll just say like early access, work in progress, and then I'll just, every time we make a new mission or a new area, I'll just keep updating the game constantly, and then everyone's got something to play. And it's not like waiting like 4 years for the survival horror game when you could have played like a little bit at a time, you know, every year, a little bit more, and then eventually it will be complete. But yeah, it's just the mission structure and the story, and obviously I don't know, the voice acting, that'll probably come last. I think the things I'll add right now are just like text based stuff, so we'll just get the mission structure, we'll get the text up and running, but it won't be complete. That'll probably get added later. Sounds good. Yeah, early access is a fast way to get feedback too. Yeah, I think it'll be better. Plus, I think it'll keep people more interested because, like, even for me, like the survival horror game, it's just too long, and I don't think I can do that again, you know. So I feel like if it's like, okay, we're making some stuff together, then I'll release it, play it, you know, if you want, test it out, and then I'll do like another month or so of building something, and then I'll update it, and it's like you can explore, you can check out the gameplay. I think it's more fun, you know, like, oh cool, there's like a new mission available, or a new building to explore, I don't know, or in the sci-fi game, a new planet to explore, a new weapon to check out, you know, even if it only takes like 15-20 minutes of your time, you know, it's good to, it's more interactive. So I'll see about tomorrow. I'm going to try and keep it, see what we'll create tomorrow. The rest of your day, everyone, and I'll see you guys next time. See you soon.